G'day there, friends. How y'all doing today? My name is Stampy.
My name is Carl.
This is the bloody Poddy C officially.
Unofficially.
The best podcast on the bloody in there. We are joined by CJCJ from the bloody Chiefs to discuss everything regarding OCE RLCS. Fucking huge to everyone who's loved this podcast so far and has left lovely comments. We appreciate you all. It's CJ. How's your day gone? Bloody oath.
Did you guys rehearse that, or is...
No, off the cuff.
What do you mean?
That's how we speak.
That was unbelievable. Yeah, my day's going better now after... I feel like I'm amongst cousins, brothers.
I thought you were going to say the C word. When you say, I feel like I'm amongst I was like, oh, already?
Oh, well.
Already?
I mean... We agreed to bleep the C in the intro. That's already been locked in.
Mm-hmm.
So we can bleep another C. So if I say again, cool, that's double work.
Why are you making me have more work to do?
If I say
Oh, that's another one.
I've got to go through all of these manually.
Oh, no.
Sorry.
Let's just, disperse them out along the show so he has to really look through everything.
So he has to actually listen to it.
Yep.
The horror.
No one wants to do that.
Mm-hmm. No one's up for that. But yeah, we've had lots of lovely comments about the podcast, so thank you everybody. We appreciate that all. And we have got on, if you hadn't guessed, CJCJ, literally our favourite Australian.
Definitely.
What about Shady?
Shade, I hope you wouldn't bring him into it because he's definitely up there.
What about Yumi?
No, Yumi's a
bottom
piece of
of
shit.
the list.
Like he's
Very fair.
sort of,
Okay.
he's a traitor. He's a region traitor. He's trying to get EU to win, isn't he?
Worse than Drippay, isn't he?
He's abandoned the region, hasn't he, really? He's given up.
Or did the region abandon him?
If you take one look at Yumi, I think you will be able to tell that he is a region abandoner.
Yeah. Devious.
Abandoner. He's just someone who you would not trust him as far as you could fling him.
100%.
And that's not far.
Not at all.
That is not far.
Yeah, not far.
Oh boy. So, CJ, so far on the podcast, on the Poddy C, we've sort of neglected OCE to an extent.
Thanks.
It's not been on our radar. We apologise formally for that. But I did look at the LAN playoff to see who would then get to Worlds. Mm-hmm. And it's a really, really cool format that OCE have got compared to NA. Could you and EU? Could you just talk us through how the qualification and the league play and then how the finals actually works for people who don't know?
Yeah. So obviously with OCE, we've only got two RLCS spots. Only two teams go to Worlds. So we've basically got a top four finals format. So obviously got league play, 8 teams. The top 4 make finals. And then it's a double elimination bracket to find the top 2 teams. So, yeah, first place.
And those top 2 then go through into Worlds?
Yeah, top 2 make Worlds. So, it's pretty good. I think double elim's probably the best format to, find the teams.
And it's a LAN, right? At the end as well?
This was a LAN. This was the first LAN since...
Oh, is it not normally?
Not usually. I think Season 4 was a LAN and Season 3. And then 5, 6, 7 weren't. And then we got this one.
There's an elephant in the room here.
Huge one.
And that's that...
Huge, big old elephant.
The lower finals,
Mm-hmm.
you guys didn't make it in the 7th game. It reminded me a lot of back when I wasn't that into Rocket League esports, and I had friends that played it. So this is back when Doomsy was sort of breaking to get into the RLCS. And I checked Discord because subpar was still a thing. And it would be someone atting me, going, Cole, watch now. Doomsy's in the, if he wins this game, he makes it. If he loses, he doesn't. So I'm like, oh shit, I better watch this. And then I'd watch, and the bad thing would happen. It sort of took me back to those days. So how was that? I mean, it's a shitty question, but we should really get onto it. How was that for you, not being able to make it?
Yeah, I think someone said on Twitter, this is the second season actually I've lost in Game 7 to not make finals. Mm-hmm. This one, it felt a little bit empty. We had a lot of issues in the series that were really unfortunate, and I don't know, without going into too much detail, we had a PC being replaced, Drippay, his headset didn't work, and we had no comms.
I saw that.
And stuff like that. So
you tweeted saying there were various technical issues where you couldn't hear in certain games about the comms between your teammates and you.
Yep.
And there was also the break in game 1 or just after game 1, and it was a 10-minute break where evidently a PC was being switched out.
Yeah. So I was pretty much game 1 was pretty much unplayable for my PC. It was very framey and stuff like that. So we lost the first game 8-1, and then I got a new PC in, and that was fine. But
that's the first one I watched. We were in our Discord like, guys, what is going on here? What is this?
It wasn't the best start. Yeah, we basically came into like a new room because there was like 4 rooms, and 2 of them were for the actual gameplay, and we'd been in the other room when we played for the whole weekend. We got thrown into this one, and yeah, pretty much everything blew up. And I blame Leduc on this because he wears these stupid lucky pants, and for some reason they just work. Because the last time I had trouble with like in terms of setup was last season in league play. I played Leduc. He was on a different team. And my power board blew up in my room, and everything shut in game 1 of the league play match.
Fucking hell!
And that was against him.
So you're saying it's because of his pants?
Yes, he wears these stupid freaking pants every time he plays a Rocket League game for luck. They're like this cultural, silky. I don't know. It's got a floral pattern sort of thing. They're on my Twitter if you want to have a look.
Jesus,
I put a photo up.
I do now. Yeah,
I'm gonna have a look.
Yeah, he wears them for luck, and I don't know if it is luck or he's just sabotaging somehow our PCs every time. But
he says, "Oh yeah, I've got some lucky pants on," and then he's there just like flicking switches on Transformers.
Yeah,
God, I'm so lucky. I can't believe it.
Wow,
I'm so lucky, just chucking water in like a fan. He's like, this is crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. I blame him, but yeah, this one because there were so many issues. Like between every game, we were fixing something instead of working on or talking about the game sort of thing. We were trying to fix headsets and stuff. This
is Leduc from Canberra Havoc. And I know you, CJ. I know that, above all else, you root for your region. Mm-hmm. You support your friends and your pals from the OCE, because I guess the better OCE does, the better you can do personally. Yep. So, when the season started, Canberra Havoc were a bit crap, right? And then they became good. Is that fair?
Well, actually, they beat Renegades in the second week, so I wouldn't really say that. They went 5-2 in league play, so they might not have been playing the best Rocket League, but they just kept winning, and they even beat us.
Was it last
in
season
play.
that they were like the last team or something,
yeah,
and they just did terribly?
Last season it was Spy Doge and Leduc, so 2 of the team members with another guy, Eli, and they got last. But I think Eli, they didn't scrim because he didn't want to take it seriously, sort of thing. It was a bit weird, but they picked up Walcott, and now, they...
What, you just didn't fancy it?
Yeah, they seriously,
I just don't fancy it.
I think he was very young, and once they qualified, he said, I can't scrim, I've got to work, I've got no time, stuff like that, and I've got to do homework, and my parents want me to get off. And they literally didn't scrim once.
Homework.
They did not scrim once for the whole of league play, and they went 0-8.
So frustrating.
Yeah.
Surely sub him out at that point. As soon as he says that, be like, okay, thank you for getting us here, but clearly this isn't your thing, which is fine, it's fair enough. Now bugger off and go be an accountant or whatever.
I know, I'm not sure, but yeah, they stuck with it and picked up Walcott, and now they're off to Worlds, so... Yeah, it's really good for them. Obviously, it's 3 new guys making Worlds, and particularly for Spy Doge, I think that he said that the RLCS qualifiers for this season, where he obviously played in, that was his 3rd ever 3v3 tournament, as in weeklies, anything. He came from Xbox out of nowhere, and
I love OCE. I love it.
I mean, OCE seems to be the shallowest pool of people. It's like 8 grand champs and then somebody's nan.
Yep.
That's about it.
Yep.
And just some prick on Xbox. Mm-hmm. So you said that it was all a LAN event as well.
Yep.
One of our moderators found out that it was a burger place in the middle of a
hotel,
in the middle of whatever city it was in.
Auckland.
Yeah. In the middle of Auckland, yeah. And it looked really fun. It was just sort of a restaurant, and it had a bench of about 30 people just watching the Rocket League while chowing down. And then in the back, it looked like a legit gaming area. What was that venue like?
Yeah, so there was literally a burger bar, and then attached to it in this Sky Tower of Auckland, which was it's a 60-story tower where there's a restaurant. Jeez. You can see all of Auckland. And yeah, I guess on level 4 of the tower, they just attached a gaming studio, which happened to connect to this burger bar. So to get to the studio, you have to walk through a restaurant.
How do you get into the vibe of it, into taking it seriously?
You got your hood up.
Yeah, trying to be all this is the most important day of our career, guys. We need this. And then someone's like, burger, table 4, Tony, take the burger over.
Got a fucking cheeseburger here. Someone said, oh, that's my love.
Yeah, it wasn't. I don't know. It was kind of cool, but I guess the way that we went out, I'll never go there again, and the place can get stuffed. Quite frankly, yeah, I'm turned off there forever.
Oh no!
But
I'm so sorry.
I guess getting back to your question of like how to feel, this one obviously last season we lost Game 7, and we probably felt that was on us. That we probably weren't as prepared as we thought. But this season, like we covered all bases, we were flying, we'd won the last couple of gauntlets. We beat Renegades the last 2 times.
You smashed them, didn't you?
And we were ready to take the whole thing out. Yeah, we smashed them, and then all, like, you know, our world imploded, I guess, in all our PCs and setups, and it was just a bit empty because we felt like we did as much as we could and at the best in the situation, and we just, you know, we just wasn't our day, I guess. Something happened, and so yeah, it was a bit different.
Technical issues when like it messes up a series so evidently. Like looking at the game that you guys had against Ground Zero, and then obviously moving on then to be in the lower finals, you could tell there was something wrong. Even if like you couldn't see the cams of you guys like having to switch stuff out and moving rooms and whatever, you could still tell there was something wrong. Was there a reason why you couldn't just say, okay, guys, can we just pause it for a while, and then when we feel like our computers are not going to break, we can then get back to it? Is it like a tournament restriction? Because I've always wondered that. Like I've never played like a tournament where it's like a LAN thing at all. So I don't know if like there's really strict timings and it's like, guys, we just need to get on.
I think it's like, in hindsight, obviously we'd love to do that, but obviously because it was LPL, it was their first season, and it was, you know, on LAN, it was very hectic in there. Like we had admins in the rooms pretty much. Like, say, Drippay's headset didn't work at all. We couldn't hear him. They'd re-plug it in, and then, you know, he'd talk, say, like, a few words, and we could hear him. They'd go, so you can hear him? Yep, good. Okay, you know, hop into your game, sort of thing. And then a minute later, his headset stops working, you know. So I guess in hindsight, would have gone, you know, can we have 5 minutes just to make sure it's working? But they were like, as soon as there was like a sign, or, you know, the first sign of everything working, they were like, get into your game right now. Let's start, sort of thing. Because obviously, you know, on LAN, and they wanted it to all go well.
Yeah, I suppose they've got that pressure, right? Because like you said, it's their first season. Last season was Gfinity. This is the first one for Let's Play Live. And it's one of those things where if it does start to go wrong, it's like, okay, how much of that is just equipment and shit is just going wrong and the ducks chucking water everywhere? Or
wearing lucky pants.
Yeah. How much of it is actually like sort of incompetence from a TO? They seemed pretty good though. It seemed like a nice, fun event, and there was a 3-man cast going on.
Yeah,
which was so interesting.
I was really impressed by that because, I mean, before, when this sort of whole thing happened, that they shifted from Gfinity to LPL, was it? The people who ran this one?
Yeah.
When that happened, there were loads of clips from really awkward moments of previous LPL casts. So when I can't think of the specifics, but it's like, just like, we have a giveaway, and who are we handing it out to? And just like, no one knew what the hell was going on. No one was claiming it. Just loads of classic awkward Twitch esports virgin clips, right? So when somebody linked this final game between you guys and Canberra, I was expecting some really poor casting, to be honest with you, because I'd seen some horror clips, right? And then there was Yumi Cheeseman and 2 other guys that I don't know, and they were doing this 3-man cast.
It was great.
I don't know if it's because I'm a begrudging Yumi Cheeseman fanboy, very begrudging, but I really enjoyed it. It was so high energy. I want more 3-man casts.
Well, I think with one extra person, it's just one more person, you know, bounce off. So I don't think it's, apart from, you know, butting heads and stuff, if everyone can flow, and I don't see a negative to having, you know, one more person.
I think so long as everybody's like on the same page, right? Like if there's somebody in there who's always wanting to get those soundbite clips, and they want the This Is Rocket Leagues, like, and then they can have that over like B-roll or something. Then you have one guy who also wants that. Then it becomes awkward. But if you can go sort of Shogun Johnny style of a conversation like at DreamHack, and it's sort of basically flowing with the game, and you're passing between each other frequently, and everyone knows how it works, I think it can be, I think it's got a much higher ceiling, sort of entertainment-wise, than a standard 2-man cast does. Because you got also the different personalities in there, and the different experience, and I really liked it. So, talking of sort of talent-based things, is there a part of you that, because obviously, if we sort of skip forward a little bit to BTS from Beyond the Summit, you took on a host role, and it was more a case of you weren't playing, and you were there just sort of, along with Johnny and along with Leaf and etc., to basically be the host, catch and throw, do all that stuff. Is there sort of part of you that might enjoy that more, or are you still very much player first?
I loved BTS. I think I don't know. It's hard. If every event was like BTS, I just love to do that sort of thing. But unfortunately, you can't just, in the middle of a cast, ask a player what they like to eat for breakfast, sort of thing, and get to know them. I think that relaxed style is really fun, and I think it's probably less enjoyable when it's more, I guess, serious.
Mm-hmm.
You've been on desk for RLCS, right? At Lance, I believe, at least being interviewed.
Yeah, I've been on the desk a couple of times. At Worlds, which I did enjoy it, but in terms of like just the competitiveness, like that's, as a sporty person, that's just engraved in me, I guess you could say, and I love it. I mean, I love competing, and I want to keep doing that for as long as, I guess, I don't know, possible, I guess, and as long as I'm still pretty good.
So BTS, it was as fun as it was to watch. Like, being there was the same experience as watching.
It was unbelievable, and I'm sure they'll do it again. Hopefully they get me along if we're not playing,
Please
who knows?
do.
Please.
But it was so much fun. So much fun.
Was there anything that wasn't on the stream? So anything that happened off stream that you just wish was on the broadcast, or something that you wish you could have spoken about on the broadcast at all? Because obviously there was like the player room out the back, there was basically like the main area, then the 2 games rooms, and then the Mafia area, which, by the way, we're getting onto.
No.
Yes, we are. So yeah, is there anything that sort of happened off stream that you wish was on broadcast, or was it pretty much everything that was there was shown?
I think that, you basically had from what you could see on the camera, you had the couch and, the tables in behind where we ate.
Mm-hmm.
But in like the room across on the right, on the other side of the wall, we had like the table tennis table, and I wish that the cameras could pan over there, because, I don't know, you'd walk out of like the camera room with the couches, and you've got, Scrub versing his dad in like Smash Brothers or something, or playing Melee. And there's like arcade machines where like Justin's dad's showing me how to, if something he used to play when he was a kid, playing on there. And K-Dop's versing Fairy Peak in the most intense table tennis match I've ever seen in my life.
Was it quite high standard?
Oh, K-Dop's a freak. Fairy's good.
I had a feeling he would be.
Yeah, K-Dop was the only person I couldn't beat. He beat me like 5 times, and I think I'm pretty good, but I don't know. He's just a winner. Like we had basically table tennis. I think it was like first to we went first to 11, and we were like 23-21 because you have to win by 2. Like we just had the longest overtime in table tennis history, and he won. And so like I guess if like the audience could sort of see that sort of stuff, because there were so many magical moments outside of just what you saw in front of the camera.
This is making me want like a reality show with Rocket League pros. So you get BTS, right? You put them all in there for 2 days or 3 days in this house.
Like a Love Island.
Cameras everywhere. Love Island would be great. Who do you reckon we get together?
I love Love Island, by the way, just
everyone.
a heads up.
I don't know.
Everyone.
Let's get Yummy and Farah.
There's table tennis bats everywhere. There's
mate, I
people's
will
dads.
watch Farah like for hours. I'll just watch him looking at a mirror. Like
what a man.
that, he is just the sweetest young man.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think he'd be perfect in there. I think Gibbs would need to be in there.
So this is for a Love Island, sorry?
This is for a Love Island. I want to see Gibbs in a Speedo trying to chat with Supermodel.
Yes, actually, yes. And floaties.
Yeah, you've changed your mind.
Yeah.
You changed your tune. Okay, so Gibbs in a Speedo.
Fairy Peak.
Fairy Peak.
Just because he's a bit different looking, he's big, he's hairy.
With the makeover as
He fills
well.
a niche.
He's a catch.
We could queer eye him. We can queer eye him before he goes into Love Island. So like you do a full on makeover, you get his haircut, and you get it all styled. Oh my god, that'd be incredible. He'd get a new wardrobe. They could like redo his house. This is the dream. Holy shit. What other round shows can we chuck them into?
I mean, I was thinking more of a Big Brother type thing, where they have to do challenges, like they have to, I don't know, pass a bucket of custard between each other without eating it, or whatever crazy shit they make you do on Big
Fairy
Brother.
Peak has to spit custard into Gibbs' mouth.
There's a lot of Fairy Peak and Gibbs focus.
It's sort of a fanfic that I'm into at the moment.
Are you sure you just want to tell us all that you want to see Fairy Peak and Gibbs
I just really
together?
want to see what they do together.
Oh no.
That'd be a good thing though as well. Like you just put up the weirdest pairings of people and make them go to like Disney World. So Gibbs and Fairy Peak, I'd love to see how they'd interact.
Just see what they do on like a roller coaster.
Who else would be an odd pairing?
Just on a date or something.
Yeah, Shorset and a lot.
What would they talk about? What would they do?
I don't know. Because short-sighted couldn't get on any of the rides. So there'd just be a lot going on them. He's standing at the bottom just saying, like, I think that looks really fun. So it would be great. He'd have the best time.
To be fair, even Fruity's probably too tall to go on most rides. I'm sure there's a limit for tallness as well.
I've actually been declined from going on a ride before.
Was it the teacups? Because you looked too weird and there were kids everywhere.
Sure, yeah, partly the restraining order, but otherwise it was for a roller coaster where, like, you know, the ones that you sort of sit in it and your feet like hang down and they're all loose.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It was one of them. Basically, like, we're not confident that you will come off this ride with feet. And I was like, okay.
So just patch something and fling off.
I was like, you know what? I really appreciate the heads up. Like, I imagine it was like another foot away from mine. Like, there was more than enough room. But I was just over the height limit. And so I just couldn't go on.
I reckon Fruity and Justin would be a great mismatch pair. Because
yeah, they would.
If you go back to DreamHack Valencia in the grand final where they faced off, you know, before they played, they looked at each other like they'd never seen each other before. Justin was like, "Who is this tall man?" And Fruity's just looking down on him.
It was like that subreddit r/same species, where like they're just so different.
Weirdly porny, that subreddit. I didn't realize it would be. I thought it would just be people that looked very different, but most of them were like a tall naked person and a small naked person. Was that subreddit?
Yeah, basically. But I mean, hey, if that's the direction it takes, you know, and then Gibbs and Fairy Peak in the background, right? Guys?
Justin and Fruity would be odd as well, just because when we were at Vegas, Justin is very playful. Like, it was Justin that was sort of being the ringleader in throwing a bottle into a bin, if you guys remember that. And
that was
sort
great.
Of starting all that basketball stuff, which is really fun. I can't imagine Fruity doing that. I could be wrong, could be misjudging the guy. But I imagine Fruity's more the sort that would be sort of have his legs crossed reading a book by the fireplace.
I think he just analyses, he just watches people and goes, that's
He's
funny.
watching. Oh, so he enjoys being part of it, even if he's not contributing himself.
Yeah.
He likes being around the fun.
I think he'd look at throw the bottle in the bin game, and he would analyse the trajectory of everything, and then he'd go up, just have one go and it'd go in. And they'd be like,
Maybe.
oh, cool, he's won.
That's over.
Yeah, that's
now
it.
can we all sit down?
Yeah. Read this book. He'd love it. Okay, so getting on to a little bit more BTS stuff, where personally I love watching it. Carl, I know you didn't watch too much of it, but on Reddit, all over Reddit, there was talk about Mafia, and there was the conversation about how the game ended up going. Go on.
Let's just quickly jump ahead to some Twitter questions as we're here. Most importantly, why did he not save Jarzo from @J.17? Do you still suffer from knowing that you threw the Mafia game from @ILoveNons? In Australia, people live on the wrong side of the world. People drive on the wrong side of the road. They're basically just always wrong. Is that why you fucked up Mafia? From @Jens8888. And why didn't CJ save Jarzo? From @Quatterpeen.
There's one more question from us. Why didn't you save Jarzo? It was the obvious choice!
Look, I will stand by any publicity is good publicity. And in this situation, I didn't think it was going to blow up like it did, but it turns out I made a huge mistake. I went for the 200 IQ read, not realising that speed has the brain the size of a goldfish, and just went, oh, that's the obvious thing, and just went with it. And he pretty much made me look like an idiot, so I'll never live it down, but I don't know. It was good fun, I guess. It was a highlight for everyone at my expense.
It was amazing because, like you said, it's Speed being one of the thickest people I think I know. He was sitting there, and after he ended up killing Jarzo, who was one of the other innocents in the town, it was then just you, Turtle, and Speed. Yeah. And Speed literally didn't need to say anything. He just sat there smiling the entire time while you were pleading to Turtle. And looking back at that footage, when the Speed is on Mafia, and it's all up to Turtle, and you just see him sitting there smiling. You can imagine just how fast his heart is beating, and just saying, just play it cool. Just don't do anything. CJ is digging this hole for himself. I need to contribute nothing to this situation. But I loved it. It had so much personality come through with Mafia.
100%. I think that Turtle was like, I don't know, it was like the perfect trio with Speed just being so dumb and devious at the same time. And then Turtle just I don't know. He's like a big puppy. Like he just wants to. I don't know. He wants to be right, but doesn't want anyone to be, left out or doesn't want to make anyone feel bad. I don't know. It was the perfect trio that ended up, and unfortunately, I stuffed up. I pretty much because Speed was Mafia, I was like, he has to know that I'm gonna save Jarzo, so like he's not gonna kill him. So I'd save someone else. No one would be dead, and boom, there it is. I've proven ended the game. But no, he's gone, actually, I didn't think you were the medic. And I was like, why would I fake that? I don't know.
Like, Speed... The issue is, with that situation, Speed cannot lose if he kills Jarzo. Like, if he just goes for him regardless, he's like, oh, I either win or I don't. That's the best odds I can go for. He just may as well.
Yeah, 100%. He made the play and made me look like an idiot, and... I don't know. It'll haunt me for the rest of my life, but at the same time, it was good fun, and I guess it turned an easy win because everyone watching on thought I was gonna, or the town was gonna win, and all of a sudden it was just I dropped a bomb, and everyone was like, "Oh my goodness!"
I take it that BTS was the favorite event that you've been to.
100%. Yeah, I think it was everyone's favorite. There was
You guys have also gone to all the 3 out of 4 of the DreamHack Pro Circuit events.
all 4.
You did go to all 4. I can see you on the last one.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, you went to at least. You went under 3 different org names to all of them. You went Tainted Minds, Icon, and Chiefs. To the 3 that I saw, I couldn't see on the last one. Were you Chiefs for the last one as well then?
Yeah, with Hawk at Montreal.
Okay, cool.
So Chiefs twice.
Do you have a favourite out of those events? Because I only went to Leipzig, and I absolutely adored it. Like, we basically hung out for the entire long weekend.
Mm-hmm.
It was
It's
fantastic.
my biggest regret that I didn't go along to that. I needed some time off, but equally, looking back, fucking hell, I wish I'd gone to Leipzig.
Yeah, it was great. What was your favourite?
I think Leipzig was the shittest location ever. Just because there was just nothing around. It was like
Germany, innit?
It was like a war zone. Yeah, East Germany.
It was a bit. Yeah, it was a little bit barren. We were like looking for places to eat. We had to like walk
under the wall.
We had to like walk across a load of like car parks and sort of like abandoned buildings, and then there was just like the golden arches in the distance.
It just sounds depressing.
It was fun.
Yeah.
I liked it.
Yeah, I didn't like that part, but obviously hanging out with Stumpy and the EU and Australian people just get on. We're just feel like we're just cousins, first cousins, we said before. So that was really fun. In terms of the actual event, probably Dallas was the best DreamHack.
Okay.
I think we 3-0'd PSG, which was good performance wise, but as well as just the amount of fans that actually knew who you were and like were there for Rocket League was probably the highest out of all the DreamHacks. Like
it
in Valencia,
grew.
it was like there was like a big crowd, but like even in like Valencia, there were just people watching, but no one had any idea like who you were unless you were like Cloud9 who had a group. No one else was sort of asking for pictures and stuff. So there was like I think that the hardcore Rocket League scene was definitely Dallas, out of all the events, and then I think Leipzig was probably the most fun outside of the event.
Whenever I speak to people that are sort of at one place to see multiple games or multiple esports, so for example in Insomnia in the UK, where you'll go to try out a new game and you might sort of check out a bit of esports, and DreamHack's the same thing. It's always Rocket League that they say is the best at coming into with absolutely no knowledge and falling in love with it. And I guess it's DreamHack where you sort of feel that happening the most. Like you were saying that it grew day by day. How sort of lovely a feeling is that to see the game that is important for your career do so well for itself when it has a chance to push itself to as many of the masses as possible?
Oh, definitely. I think that I think I knew, and I think everyone knows how Rocket League, it's the closest esport to a real sport, that we have, aside from the simulation games like, FIFA and NBA 2K, stuff like that. And I think people can, just take one look at the game and see, okay, there's a ball, there's, 6 cars, oh, there's 2 goals, okay, there's 2 different teams, teams of 3. It's so easy to sort of notice what's going on and pick up on it, compared to, a League of Legends where, unless you play it, what is going on?
I've tried. I get the story of it, but I still don't understand what makes a good player good. No. If it's how quickly they press the buttons or if they're thinking about which buttons to press. I just can't get my head around it.
Like seeing a play happen in League of Legends and everyone goes mental over it. I'm like, I have no idea what happened. And then something else happens And I'm like, holy fuck, that was great, right? And then nobody's making a sound. And I'm like, I don't
A ripple of
know
applause.
what I did wrong here to not be right. Why are you
Worlds
so
is
much
cool,
happier
though,
with the
for League
first
of
one?
Legends. It's such a show, and
Yeah.
they've got their raps and their songs. I'd love a Rocket League rap. Or like, imagine if
yeah.
At
Psionics
Turtle.
unveiled and unveiled like an official. Because we've got Rocket League music, but it's not about Rocket League. You know, I want a Rocket League song, even if it's slightly metaphorical, talking about how I'll demo you and it's a bit aggressive. I'm ready for that. I think the
Do you want
scene
some
is
like
ready.
grunge, grimy, dirty rap, like real hardcore shit?
Well, there's a CS:GO one that I remember hearing like one of the first CS:GO tournaments I watched, and it was in the break during it. And they played this song, and it was like British guys rapping, and it was clearly about CS:GO. Like, I'll shoot you with my FAMAS or whatever. But it wasn't like, it was sort of making it real. So as in, you know, I'll fucking destroy you or whatever. And it had swearing, and it was had a bit of an edge to it. And it was really good. And I've never found out what it was called. I really need to discover what that is. If anyone listening knows, please let me know what the fuck I'm talking about, because I sort of heard it once and then never again. But it is possible to make an esports song that's genuinely quite cool. And I think with the talent they've got, you know, Hollywood Principal and all that, I'm ready.
Do you remember season 1 Hollywood Principal on stage?
I wish I'd watched. I need to watch it back.
CJ, do you
Season
remember?
one's the one when I wasn't into it.
I remember Gibbs dancing, and it was the worst thing I've ever
No, that was
seen.
fun. I loved it.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I've seen the Gibbs dancing thing, because that made a Flump top 10 RLCS cringe moments video, which annoyed me because about 2 of them were actually cringe. The rest were just people having fun.
Cheers, Flump.
Yeah, I know, right?
And so it was Hollywood Principal, because obviously just by design, their songs, they're like a bit auto-tuney. They're sort of like futuristic. It's cool. It's a good thing they're sort of gone for. That does not translate well to a live performance in front of 30 people.
To older white men dancing.
It just didn't work. I remember watching it, and I rarely agree with Twitch chat when something's cringy. I'm like, guys, look, they're actually just having fun. Like, their friends pissing about. It's all right. I remember watching it and convulsing. I was like, oh no, I can't deal with it. It was real intense. I was not
I
big
think
into that.
if you're gonna do a music sort of theme thing pre-show, it has to be the game related, like League of Legends. You know, they make their own songs, and it's, you know, to do with League. But if you just have a random band, especially with the audience that Rocket League has, if you're just gonna get a band from the, I don't know, that no one knows, we got, you know, 6-year-olds to 10-year-olds coming along
And Gibbs.
going, what is going on? And Gibbs.
It's Gibbs and a load of 6-year-olds in a fucking mosh pit.
Justin and Fruity are having a slow dance. Gibbs and Fairy Pig stepping on each other's toes.
Covered in custard.
Yeah, it has to be game related. Make their own. That'd be cool. But League does it the best, 100%.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you think Turtle would perform on stage, CJ? Because you know him quite
That
well.
would
Like
be
you've done
awesome.
stuff. Do you think he would?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I think it would, and I think that'd be cool, because even if, you know, the people haven't heard their song, it's like, here's Turtle X Pro or whatever, you know, and everyone knows Turtle in North America. It'd probably have to be in NA land.
Yeah, probably.
Because then they go nuts. But yeah, I think he'd do it. That'd be cool.
That'd be a good link to take like a current caster and X Pro and have him be the middle ground between music and Rocket League. That could work well.
Oh, really good. So we've gone through all the DreamHack stuff, and I want to move on, CJ, to some stuff that you seem to have been having a little bit of a focus on recently. About, we sort of spoke about it very, very briefly before we started recording. It's with YouTube, Twitch, and the CJ and CNJ podcast. So you've been doing some YouTube stuff, which we love.
So good.
It's great. Do you want to tell people what exactly your YouTube is about? Because it's very much in its infancy, right?
Yeah, 100%. So I just recently put out my first YouTube video, youtube.com/CJCJ_RL. And I just thought, you know, obviously the off season, and I think that it's probably easier to keep up with YouTube. I want to be a consistent streamer on Twitch, but I think with YouTube I can sort of get out, you know, a video a week sort of thing. And I think that I can sort of offer a different look, more of an inside look, I guess, from a, you know, pro, talking about other pros and stuff like that. But in terms of like where I want my channel, I'm not really sure. Like I'm thinking, my next video is probably going to be what I think makes a good team in Rocket League, like in 2019 and stuff like that. Because we talk about, you know, that team's pretty good, or we look at players and like why a player's good, but no one really I guess tries to divulge into what makes a good team. Like, why is NRG just winning? Stuff like that. So I kind of want to make like a simplified version of that, and just talk about like the current, state of Rocket League, and perhaps maybe why Cloud9 are not at the top anymore, and like the way that Rocket League's going with a lot of bumps and stuff like that. And
it's one of those things where you said about the teams being good, but it's never really described why are they good? Why are they a good matchup versus
anyone
another
can win
team?
On the day.
Yeah, anyone can win on the day, exactly.
Oh, least favourite phrase in esports.
That fucking trope.
If you can break through that, CJ, then I will be a fan for life even more than I already am.
Yeah, it's something that's not been sort of expanded much on, and I think there's a lot to expand on. It's not something that I would necessarily know myself. I wouldn't necessarily say, oh, NRG, they can beat Pittsburgh Knights because X, Y, Z. However, Pittsburgh Knights, they'll probably beat this team, whatever. Are there certain teams that you already have in mind for those videos, or are you just going to sort of see what you fancy on the day, or something that you just know about at the time?
Well, I sort of did a record. I'm going to re-record it because I didn't really like. I've pretty much already recorded it though. Basically, I cut it into 3 parts. This video was pretty much what do all good teams have in common. So just three key sort of things. Yeah. Yes. Good call. 3 players.
Step 1.
And then sort of what makes everyone, you got good teams, but what makes teams better than others, sort of thing. Like the sort of X factor, stuff like that in teams. What steps good teams above from other good teams, sort of things. And then, as I said, the current meta. So then I talk about NRG and the Knights, how they've come up new teams, and then older teams like C9, perhaps, just why they're not as good.
Do you think there are any teams that the way people feel about them is completely wrong? So, for example, I'd associate Pittsburgh Knights with being an aggressive, bumpy team. I'd associate Cloud9 with being a team that can blow hot or cold, but they are sort of quite flary. Do you think there are any ones out there that people like Stumpy and me, and indeed the RLCS like caster crew, just don't quite get what it is that makes them them?
I don't think so. I think it's more, say, with the Knights, people are like, oh, they're dumb. They're just ball chasing, bumping, stuff like that. People think that's a dumb play style, whereas it's actually pretty smart, and they've found their way into the current way of Rocket League, with everyone's defense being so good that the one way to disrupt it is to go for bumps and be unpredictable, stuff like that. So I think that they've really, actually, it's quite intelligent, quite smart, whereas it might look stupid and not well orchestrated and, random, things like that.
Based on the editing that I saw on the first video that you put out, I'd love to see your analysis of this sort of thing, because I watched your first video today. And so this is, for anyone who hasn't seen it, it's the 5 hardest players that you personally have come up against. And I was clicking on it, and I thought it would be entertaining because it's you, but it would be quite light on editing. So it'd be you talking to the camera, maybe with 1 or 2 goals chucked in. But it was a properly, completely edited little package where there was little segments that showed a few of their goals. There was music over the top. There was, you'd see examples of these people as you were talking that matched up with what you were saying. It was just brilliant. So first off, congratulations on getting that out. You must be very proud of it. Did you edit it yourself, or did you hire someone?
No, that's what I was about to say. Secret. No, I didn't. There's a guy called Solo. I think it's YouTube. He's got a lot of montages. You can just search Solo Rocket League. And he pretty much came to me when I said I suck at editing, can anyone help? And he was the one that made like the Farah Airbus compilation of every time anyone had said Farah's Airbus. So he like is an editor, but he also is in Rocket League. So when I say, this happened, he'll be like, yeah, I know where that is. I've got that clip, sort of thing.
So he's got that encyclopedic knowledge.
Yeah. So he knows pretty much everything, and he's made heaps of montages on different players and stuff. So he's been really good for me.
It was brilliantly edited, so, compliments to the chef, but not taking anything away from yourself as well. Like, the hosting was really clear and concise, you spoke well, obviously you're knowledgeable because this is the world that you live in. Yeah. You mentioned earlier on that you've got this idea next to have, talk about what makes a good team. Does that mean that you're going to be focusing more on this sort of video essay style of video, or what else can we expect?
Well, I've got a few ideas. I don't know. I want to still stay in the esports because that's sort of like what I find interesting. But I also I think I can offer, I guess, the general or the people that want to get better something as well.
Okay.
And so I do want to do like some like tips videos. I also actually wanted to do, in terms of like a different style, I had the idea. I don't want to leak it, but I'm going to leak it. I was just
I'm so good at this. Jeez, I've got a leak. I should be a journalist.
Exclusive.
Because I obviously know a lot of the pros. I was going to do sort of a series called In the Mind of a Pro. And basically I can get, say, Chicago, and I can jump in a chat with him, and we can watch, some of his gameplay, and I can go, well, why are you doing this sort of stuff? Because obviously it's easy to just watch it yourself and think, oh, he's doing this. But actually, like, just finding sort of key points and then going, all right, so here's a clip. What did you do here? Why are you doing this sort of thing? And then finding out a bit more about the player on the pitch and how they think and stuff like that. So I think if I could do a series with like RLCS pros, that'd be really fun and informative as well, because it's sort of, diving into their brain.
We see how content can go with that. I know that Shogun does something similar to that, but without talking to the pro. So like what you were saying originally, where it's, it looks like he did this because of this. He knows that his teammate has boost. It might have been a low boost call.
Yep.
But I think, having that extra step of actually having that pro in the call with you. And it might even be a case of people realise just how much of it is instinct. Like,
true.
A lot of the time, I feel like there's more credit given to thinking in the moment about the right thing to do that isn't actually there. You're not in a game thinking, okay, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. It's more a case of, I feel like I should do this, but it's not a conscious thought. It's the instinct of, this feels like the right thing to do because of something else you picked up on. Like you saw somebody come back and go get boost, or somebody said something else. I think it'll be interesting for people to realise how much of it is instinct over really hardwired thinking through every single micro action.
Yeah, because Rocket League's so fast-paced, I think that if you're trying to think 2 or 3 moves ahead, you're going to be too slow for what happens. Like, all you need to do in Rocket League is know where the next hit's coming or where the next hit's going. That's all you need to know in Rocket League, because anything else is going to make you think too much, and you're not going to, just react and play normally.
Well, I look forward to seeing it develop, mate. I'm a fan, as you know.
Thank you.
I was going to ask about the OCE style of playing, if we're sort of talking about play styles and stuff, because... like I said, I'm a bad friend and I didn't watch any of the league play. I'm very sorry. But...
It isn't on like 4 a.m. for us.
It's on very early, and
Yeah.
I have a fucking job, CJ. So we typically try to avoid us talking about playstyle shit because it's boring. But OCE has got the weirdest playstyle compared to other regions I've seen. I feel like nobody ever stops boosting. Like, it's 100 miles an hour all the time. There's no point where there's really any slowing down. Is that something that sort of needs to be changed when you then go up against teams on LAN? Or why is it so unique that OCE is so impossibly fast?
Well, it must be a bit of a culture shock when you do go on LAN and suddenly you're playing against teams that have a third man in their own half. Because the series I watched, that wasn't really a thing for either of the teams.
Yeah. I think that probably one of the reasons why it's like that is Renegades or, I guess the old Chiefs roster. Because OCE, it's very top heavy. We've got, a top 4 bubble or a top 2 and perhaps now even the top 1 with Renegades in terms of just a step above everyone else. And everyone looks up to that team. So everyone's sort of trying, you see how Renegades are playing and everyone's like, oh yeah, we should do that. We should be fast. And when you're playing a team like Renegades, you think, oh, we need to match them. We need to be fast as well. So everyone's trying to be fast. And especially when we're versing Renegades, we both just want to be faster than each other. So it just becomes absolute chaos.
It is.
Is there like an ego thing as well? Where they might have beaten me, but at least I beat into the ball most of the time. Is that partly there?
100%. There's definitely that. But that's the thing. Will it hold up internationally? Because if Renegades can play like they do online, they will do very well at Worlds. But the problem is their playstyle relies on everyone hitting the ball and everyone getting good hits and no one missing because there's a lot of trust.
They're going to hate the Knights then. They're just going to break everything up.
Yeah. So if there is that pressure exactly with bumps and because their third man is very keen on just keeping the ball in and not, pulling back. They just they're happy to 50-50 and hopefully, it doesn't go down the other end. But if it can work, if it at their best, it's going to be good and they could easily get top 4 at Worlds, even higher. But that's the question, like, can they play that under pressure? So it's a good play style. You just have to be, good with it, I guess.
It hurts we fans when it doesn't work as well.
Yes.
Because we're just screaming, just defend! Defend!
Do you think the Cranberry Honda are going to be shocked when they go onto LAN and then it's...
The what?
The Cranberry Honda, is that their name? It's something like that anyway.
No, you idiot. It's the Carbonara Hanekas, you
Sorry,
idiot.
my bad, yeah. So the Cranberry Hanekas, when they get onto RLCS LAN, do you have much hope for them to learn how they should be playing, like sort of the proper way of playing Rocket League when they're against these international teams? Or do you think they will just shock people and get sort of a few surprise wins?
Well, the thing with Canberra is they're the most un-OCE team ever. They just sit in net and then counter-attack, and then they'll find a 2-on-1 and go for a bump goal sort of thing. Like, those guys are the most un-OCE. They'll just go, all right, if you want to play fast, we're just not going to move and wait for you to stuff up. And for some reason, it works. Well, I guess when you talk about it, it's probably going to work, but they just find a way to just keep saving the ball. You boost starve them, and they'll find a way out, and they find a way to win. So I'm not sure if they want to change too much, because they seem to just have a way to win, whether that's breaking another team's computer to get a win. They just
in your pants.
They just find a way. I don't know. It's just weird. Yeah,
he has got to wear those trousers at LAN.
Oh, he will, 100%. He said he will. So
they look good.
Yeah, I don't think they'll go well. Like, they'll probably not win a game, but I don't know if they can. Like, they just have this magic about them. Like there was an aura at the LAN that this underdog team was just going to make it, and somehow, by the way of the force, have made LAN. So
that's the sort of the analysis that I feel is really important at RLCS, because like, I personally am not very good at seeing a game, at least of Rocket League, and going, they're the defensive ones, they're the aggressive ones. To me, it's sort of all individual moments. I get sort of swept up in the storyline of it a little bit, rather than thinking sort of analytically. And I guess that's what your YouTube is going to be trying to offer people, the chance to take a step back and look at that from a player's perspective. But we also want to talk about your Twitch. Now, that is a lot more about you messing about, chilling out with your mates, fucking about, scoring some sick goals with your community, having fun. Is that going to stay that way? Is there a definite sort of line between YouTube, which is quite serious and analytical, and then Twitch, which is you fucking about, having a laugh with your fans?
I kind of like the contrast. I don't know. I used to stream a lot, say back 2017. I was streaming a lot, start of 2018, and then I guess even this year I thought I'll just stick to practicing, professional sort of stuff and not streaming as much. I guess with Twitch, it is hard to play Rocket League, especially in OCE, playing ranked.
How fast it is, you can't look away for a second because you can see 6 goals.
Well, exactly. Well, there's just no one playing. So like times that I want to stream,
it's the 8 GCs, I'm telling you.
If Nan doesn't turn up, you've only got 2 full teams.
It's a nightmare. It's like a Village 5-a-side football game. As soon as someone doesn't show up, it just ruins it all. Like, I've seen your queue times on stream, and it looks like an absolute nightmare.
So annoying.
It can be 15 minutes for a game. So that's where I would like to get into sort of variety sort of games. Obviously, you don't get as many viewers, but if I can sort of find a way to make that fun.
We need to play Euro Truck.
Yes, we do.
We spoke of that in Leipzig.
Phenomenal.
Yeah, me, you, Shady, and Express need to just play it.
You also need to play a game called Pummel Party with us, which is like it's like Mario Party, loads of mini games, skill based, but most of the time you're sort of controlling yourself as an individual rather than interacting with each other. So lag won't be that much of a factor, and it's just fucking fun. So please play Pummel Party with us. I beg of you.
I was just gonna say, I'd love to do that, and obviously with the viewing parties, I'm always doing those because they're just fun. Like, I can just sit there and hang out.
They pop off,
and
right?
People watch. Yeah. I guess the main thing is it's sort of hard if you're doing a variety game and then you got 10 people in there compared to playing Rocket League. So I was trying to find that balance, and obviously viewing parties are a way of people wanting to come and watch and me just enjoying it because it is high level Rocket League.
And you're also known as an expert of paint as well. Some of the clips that I've seen of yours in the subreddit, the RL Esports subreddit, are generally you using your paint. Can you talk people through a couple of your classics that you've concocted?
Well, my first paint episode was every time someone came into my stream and said, CJ, I've got 500 hours and I'm GC. Is that good?
I remember
and
this
so
one.
I flipped and just went on a rant that just hours don't matter. Like stop asking if I'm on the right track because I've got so many hours and I'm this rank. So I made this graph of pretty much, just hours in Rocket League in relation to skill, and pretty much saying that everyone progresses differently, and doesn't mean just because you're GC at 500 that you're still going to continue on that pattern and be the best player in the world next week.
It's
and stuff like
it's one of those things that like once it's been explained, it's obvious, but a lot of people want to like compare themselves to other people around 100%. Their hours. So we were talking about viewing parties a second ago, and it was mainly the New Jersey LAN. So it was Season 7 LAN, where we both did viewing parties. So we did one here at my flat, and then you did one over in Australia, and you had on various guests, like Speed was on there a lot of the time, Yumi was hanging out as well. Those were so much more fun, I think, than actually being in New Jersey.
Yes.
Like, there was no point where I personally thought, I'd rather be in New Jersey right now. I really want to be hanging out with all of them. What was your viewing party like? Because we teamed up on the last day for the last series.
Madness it was.
It was fucking havoc.
I don't think it worked, but it also really, really
worked. So, like, you were getting over, like, 1,000 viewers for a lot of them. We were at, like, 10 times our usual amount, anywhere between, like, 300 and 500 people. I think it's people love watching other people having fun and getting involved and making it a proper little party. Is that something that you expected to pop off as much as it did?
No way. I thought it'd do well, but not so. I never thought it'd get like 1,000 views sort of thing. And I guess we had this combination of me, Yummy, and Speed, and I was kind of like, this is the weirdest combination we've ever had ever. But it just worked. And people, as you said, people want to watch, and people at home are sitting there by themselves, and it's a pretty boring weekend, even if you love Rocket League, to just watch the main channel.
Yeah, laying on your sofa.
Because no one can chat.
Yeah.
The chat's going that quick, you can't interact with anyone. And like to just watch me, and then I can say, what are your predictions? And then people can provide, people just want to get involved. That's the main thing of viewing parties, is just, and then we curated like a lot of memes. We obviously had the Farah Airbus being prominent, and just the King Cardinal. We like meme the South American players and turn them into icons, and Prince PJ. So just like we created like little storylines that weren't just, from Worlds. It was just from the audience as well and the people watching. And I think that they really love that they can have an impact somehow on a stream and watch it. So I think it works for everyone. We have fun, the viewers have fun, and we get to watch some high-level Rocket League.
Would you do it as a LAN thing? Like we had, it was me, Doomsy, Cole, Fisho, and Shogun on the final day came to mine. Would you do a similar thing in Australia, where you'd have a few people over and sort of make it a proper little party? Or are you sort of more comfortable doing it with people on Discord and whatever?
What Stumpy's trying to say is, please, can we come to yours for the LAN? Fuck Madrid. We'll go to Australia instead.
Oh, that's fair.
I think honestly I'd rather just sit at my computer, and the reason is for the viewer interaction. I think that when you are together, you sort of I wouldn't say like you shut out the viewers, but you are just sometimes just having conversations with each other.
It's more of like a show to watch again.
Yeah, exactly. And if I'm by myself, it's just me. I'm trying to talk to the viewers because I don't have anyone else to talk to, sort of thing. And obviously people in the Discord and stuff. So I think it I don't know, just suits me better because I like to interact with the viewers and stuff. Whereas if someone was next to me, I might feel more inclined to just talk to them and not talk to the viewers.
Are you going to be doing it for season 8?
Probably, most likely, yeah.
Good.
As if Psionics don't fly me over to cast, I'll be there.
Oh, at Psionics, fly him over to do a viewing party.
I think he meant right. Yeah, sure, whatever. I was going to say, the way we avoided what you said, by the way, about sort of falling into our own conversations is we had, basically, Fisho Kid is a really smart bastard. He's one of those people that's just good at everything, and he's creative, and he draws, and he makes mini games in Little Big Planet that go viral and stuff like that. And he's also, good at audio stuff. So Stumpy managed to get us a bunch of stuff from Scan Gaming, some really nice headsets and stuff like that. And Fisho made it so that when we spoke into it, we all sort of heard each other directly. So rather than talking to the person, say you're next to me, CJ, on my left, and then Stumpy is 2 away from me to my left, I'd hear Stumpy at the exact same volume as I'd hear you, which meant that it was a lot easier to avoid just sort of going into the person next to you and just chatting with them. So it is avoidable.
Discord.
Yeah, but I can completely get your point that you want it to be that you are the sort of link between your viewers, the people who are tuned into your stream, and the RLCS. Yeah. And I think it seems to be that's what mirrors your streams and your viewing parties with your YouTube, that you are this linking man, which I think is a really interesting angle that you can do well with.
Yeah, I really enjoy it. So I honestly think that especially with this RLCS, because it's in Spanish, the casting live. So even if you are there casting, it's well, you're not interacting with the crowd.
You should do a Spanish viewing party.
Learn Spanish.
Well, I guess, but yeah, that's sort of my big thing is like viewer interaction. So I think it'd be more fun if I was at home anyway. But we'll have to see. But I know Speed's keen to come back, and we had fun.
Hey.
So
he tactically didn't make it, so he could do another viewing party.
That's why they threw 4 series in a row.
DM'd me on Twitter as soon as they lost and said, "So viewing party?" Straight away.
What a hero!
What a man.
Okay, our penultimate section of the podcast is one that I forgot last week, so I apologise. There were a few comments on Reddit and a few ats in Discord because I forgot to do Player of the Week. CJ, it's a section where basically something's gone wrong in the week. Someone's had a shitty tweet, someone had a bad attitude, someone was shit in a game, and they're the weakest player.
Someone did a shit in a game.
Someone did a shit on the pitch like Gary Lineker back in the day. So it's Player of the Week. It's WEAK. Cole, again, do you get it?
Yeah, why not? I get it.
WEAK. Right, okay, you've got it.
I think I finally get it now. I think this is the week where I've run out of ways that I don't get it. I get it.
Finally,
it's because they're the weakest.
Because they're the weakest. Oh, you nailed it.
So clever.
The Player of the Week this week, guys, and I'd like to get your opinion on this. I couldn't really identify a single player that was weak, so instead, my Player of the Week is the servers
at the Burger Bar.
No, the Rocket League servers. Because this week and the week before, the one that I forgot, has been, I'm pretty sure, the worst of servers in RLCS have looked for a long time. Like, there were multiple lobby restarts. There were multiple technical error messages that came up basically in every single series. I remember back in the day, in like seasons 1 to 3 or 4 or something like that, where the servers got overloaded, there was lag on broadcast. It was early days. It was sort of acceptable. It was annoying, but, it was sort of... It was understandable to an extent. I thought from there they'd then go private server mode for RLCS/RLRS, for planes, everything, but it doesn't seem like they have. Or they have, and they're still just as bad. I haven't personally actually had a bad server for a long time. Like, over a year of playing ranked, I don't think I've really had a noticeably awful server. Like, there's occasional one where like it lags at the start, but that's fine, that's going to happen. There's not been one where I've been kicked out for a long while. And the biggest issue that happened last week was in the Vitality Mouse series. It was game 3, and the casters just straight up got disconnected from the lobby. They were just fucking kicked out, and Wavepunk literally just went, "Oh, that sucks, we timed out." And then it just like cut to like the wide like top middle corner cam. So like you can then see what's going on for that, and they cast the rest of the series like that.
And it was so loud as well. Like the actual camera was okay, but every time anyone got anywhere near the ball, you just hear like...
Yeah. It obviously wasn't ideal, but there's something wrong with the servers, and I don't know what it is. Did you guys notice like just how bad it's sort of been recently? Like, CJ, have you had those issues in OCE as well?
Yeah, I would say in private matches, like we have to remake the lobby twice because the server's down for maintenance or server timeout. Not so much in ranked. I think I'm like you. I haven't really noticed it in ranked.
You can't find any games.
Yeah, I guess so. But yeah, we've had weird things like everyone has 100 ping all of a sudden, and I think the servers are definitely getting worse. Like there is way more lag hits than like early days, like from when Rocket League first came out. I don't know what's going on, but in terms of RLCS, they do use like dedicated servers for RLCS. So maybe those servers in particular are just kaput, just gone bad.
But
so
what? I just don't get how it happens so frequently. Like, I swear it's like every series. There's just something that goes wrong in one way or another. It might be like a USB cable, and I'm sort of mistaking that for being like the admin paused the game, and I actually think it's a server issue. Yeah, like, fair enough. I might be misinterpreting it. But The amount of there's been disconnects in game, a lot just stopped moving in one series. He just disconnected from the server. Like I said, the casters were kicked out of a server. There's been lag hits. It's wobbled round players. It just seems to be in much more of an influx at the moment than it previously has been.
So when I hear this sort of thing, I always feel pity for the casters because I'm coming
100%.
at it from that angle. You and I have casted Gfinity, Stumpy, CJ, you said you've casted yourself and certainly been on desk. And I hear of the servers going down, and I can just imagine you've got into that flow. You're in your flow state. You are loving it. Everything you're casting is coming out cleanly. Your voice is clear. You're booming. You're making some great calls. You're getting on great with your co-caster. And then suddenly, the servers go down, and you hear in your ear, just keep talking. We'll get those sorted as soon as we can.
These will be up any minute now.
You've got no idea, and you can't even acknowledge that you're listening to the little man in your ear because you've got to keep talking to the camera, and you're thinking, oh God, please come back. I do not want to talk to Achieves for any longer than I need to. So I feel for them as a caster.
Poor Achieves.
CJ, I've got a question though. As a player, how much of an impact can that have? You've got momentum, suddenly, a minute into game 2 that you're 3-0 up in, let's say you've had a great first minute, RLCS admin paused the game. How do you not let that affect you? Or can you not?
Mentality, I don't know. It's pretty, I don't know. It just depends how involved you are. If you just at pause, you're like, oh, well, look at this. Classic Sonics, lol.
You try and make a joke about it.
And you try and joke about it and just laugh it off. It's sort of like even when we had our issues on the weekend, we were like, I was like, why is this happening? We just sort of had a laugh like this could not go any worse sort of thing. And yeah, I guess it depends how the team takes it. So it definitely can have an impact, and it's rough. But in terms of those casters, if I was in that position, I reckon I'd just phantom cast and pretend that the game's still going on. What do you reckon about that? Just pretend it's, when he's banged it in and it's 4, I just pretend that they can still see what's going on. And just make up a fake storyline.
We've done something similar for the DreamHack B stream. It was me and Doomsy. It was his first cast, ever.
Oh, that looks so tough.
And we weren't on location, so that was for Valencia. We were in our office or room or whatever. And we were being sent the game feed. We weren't allowed to go into the lobby, in-game, to spectate it. We were being sent the feed from their spectator. It was, firstly, it was about 2 seconds behind. Because it had to go the game to us. We then cast over it, and then it goes back. But because we're just being sent a feed, they're getting the raw feed already. So it's raw feed plus the delay of it being sent to us casting, then it coming back, then joining that. So then a goal goes in. We're still talking about the dribble that happened 2 seconds ago. And then, every now and then, it would just stop. Mid-series, it would just pause. It would just freeze. And we'd just be sitting there. Me and Tim can see each other on camera. We're not on the thing. And I'll just look in the camera and just go, what do we do now? What? And we just had to... honestly, there's moments in it that were posted to the subreddit where it was... Because we had no sound either. And it would be a shot and a goal. But we wouldn't even have seen the shot happen because it's already paused. And we're just talking about these teams. We're just fucking Air Reality. They've looked great they've looked great in this DreamHack. They've done this, they've beaten these teams. And meanwhile, they've just gone 2-0 down, but we have no idea. And there are people in the Twitch chat, because I had that up, which was stupid. They said,
that was really
what are they talking about the game? I turned it off after day 1 because I got tilted. And it's awful. So I'd recommend against a phantom cast because it doesn't work. And it's just the worst experience I've had casting.
The only person that can phantom cast and get away with it is a lot because he is able to see into the future. But other than that, yeah, I agree. It's that was so... I was watching it and I was really rooting for... obviously, you've done it before, so you're a safe pair of hands. But I was sort of looking at it as a friend of Doomsy, thinking, oh, go on, Doomsy, this is your first one. I really hope you do well. And he was just put into the worst possible situation.
He dealt with it so well.
It's so tough. Did he? How did he take it? Was he laughing about it, or?
We were both pissed off because we tried about 6 different ways of having the game sent to us. And I just kept saying, just get us in the lobby.
Why didn't they?
They just...
Right, okay.
I've no idea. I was like, just get us in the lobby. Because that solves this issue of us being sent the game late. And they're like, no, we can't. Let's just move on. Let's just get it done. But we just couldn't cast. Yeah, I felt for Doomsday so much during that because it was his first ever, it was his debut cast. And I said to him, that is the worst conditions I've ever casted in. Because it was just, you basically weren't watching a game happen. You're watching a frozen screen pretending you know what the fuck is happening. So, wouldn't recommend that.
My idea of Phantom Cast, right, is one of the situations where the game actually is stopped and paused.
Oh, okay.
So they can't see anything, and you just pretend that the game is still going on, and you make up like this situation. So like the audience, the viewers don't know. They think that they just can't see the game because you're watching it and you're casting it, pretending all is good.
The skill of it is making it seem realistic as well. So knowing one, all 6 players that are playing off the top of your head, and 2, knowing which situation is most likely. So if Chaussette's playing, Chaussette, he's dribbled past one, he's dribbled past another, he scored! Or Alpha getting a flip reset. You've got to have that off the cuff. Yeah, there it is. Gets all 4 wheels on it and dodges it home.
It would be funny if you're like, Chaussette passes it infield to Chaussette!
Oh no, I fucked up!
The illusion!
Oh, no.
Okay, so yeah, my player of the week, this week and last week, is the servers. Do we agree with that? Is that a fair one?
Mm-hmm. Fair.
Yeah. Happy days. CJ, the final section we're going into is Twitter questions. Normally these are quick fire. No, we got rid of those. They've been covered. We normally try and make these quick fire, but end of the day, some of these are actually really good. So I do want to sort of go into them a little bit deeper. The first question that has been asked is from Fisho Kid. What does the second CJ in CJCJ stand for?
I did catch this comment from Fisho. Unfortunately, Fisho doesn't have this miraculous story. I used to play on PS4. My old name, I don't want to say it on the podcast.
Go on. Oh.
But it was CJ. It was CJ _ slaying.
Oh, no!
Slaying!
Not as in like slaying dragons, as in slaying all the birds when I was 13.
CJ is
which wasn't even happening.
# birds, not dragons.
And do you know what, though? I wish I still had that name. Because I think that would have been iconic, like a random stupid name.
But there are underscores, or was it capital CJ, capital I, and then capital S?
Oh, there was many different underscores.
Was it a Z?
Okay, so it was Yeah. Let me pan it out. All right. Capital C, capital J, underscore, lowercase I, capital Z, or Z, underscore, capital S, capital L, lowercase AYI, capital N.
That was fucking awful.
If that was in the RLCS today, would that be the worst name that's ever been in RLCS? Has there been a worse one?
Or the best.
Yeah, the best
That's
one.
it, wrap around to become good again.
Yeah.
I can't think of any others that are that bad.
I can't either. Yeah. That is unbelievably awful. That's nearly as bad as Cool Cole.
Chaussette does just mean sock in his language.
But it sounds cool.
It sounds cool to our untrained ears that just hear the word Chaussette and think, oh, what does that mean? Speed, prescience, intelligence.
It means sock. It means sock.
A lot's not a great name with a 0.
But, mate, it's better than CJ is slaying. With different capitalisation.
CJ is S-laying.
How old were you when you made that name?
13, I think. 12.
That's old enough to know better, mate.
Yeah, true.
It has to be. True. Were you slaying? That's the real question.
No, that's right. I wasn't. I just thought it was awesome.
Imagine, we were saying earlier how Rocket League has this innate ability to instantly inspire people to sit down and watch it and cheer for either orange or blue team, even if you know nothing about it. Mm-hmm. Imagine if you love your esports, you love your serious ones, your League of Legends, your CSGOs, and you've heard that Rocket League is for kids, but you thought you'd give it a try. And you go and you sit down with your mates, and you've been saying to them, no, come on, guys, let's give it an opportunity. It might be good. And you just hear, Squishy Muffins is tackled by CJ is slaying. I think you'd walk out straight away.
Tell you what, Squishy Muffins is a bad name.
Exactly, yeah, that's a bad one too.
That is a bad name. It's only sort of ubiquitous with good at the moment.
Though. Yeah.
Oh, man.
I don't know. So basically, I had that name. I went to Steam after playing on PS4 for a while, and I thought, I can't have this name. But I need to keep the CJ, and honestly, there was no thought in it. I just thought, I'm going to add another CJ on the end.
It suits you.
I like it.
So
the mystery initials.
And it went from being a nothing thing. Again, I guess anything can be made iconic or well known if you just name it. So
that's good.
There it is, CJ.
You've done well there. Okay, so next up is from @Terziak_, who says, what is your personal highlight of hashtag Team 104 at Landon? Now, this is something that we didn't actually get onto at all during the podcast, so thank you, Terziak, for bringing this up.
Cheers,
so, yeah,
pal.
what's your personal highlight?
There's a lot.
I just thought that just the whole community in that particular section, you know, anyone could walk past and we just start chanting their name. I think the chants were huge, and just the way that everyone, no matter what anyone said, we'd all just buy in and go with it and just follow each other. And I really enjoyed that. Just, you know, you could chant anything and people would follow. And if Johnny Boy walked past, we'd be like, he's got a big nose, you know. There was like the whole crowd was alive at that LAN, and like it's nothing I've ever sort of experienced before. And everyone, was on the same wavelength and just, you know, so passionate about Rocket League and, you know, the community figures and pros.
You had a player interview, Mr. CJ, and you said, I don't know, I'm looking forward to being in the UK where they don't just chant USA the whole time.
Yes.
When you said that, did you have a bit of an inkling that we were going to pick up on it and chant USA?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
This is like...
Was it bait? Were you baiting us?
100%. And you guys took it hook, line, and sinker.
I'm proud
Easy.
to admit that.
It was you set them up, mate. We knocked them down.
Yeah, definitely.
I think it's also got one of the best pictures from any LAN of CJ in front of the crowd, arms out, with everybody behind, like cheering.
Any esport. It's like an iconic esport image to me.
I love it. It's one of my favourite pictures that ever been taken at a LAN. It's unbelievable. Okay, from @MiniPadley, whereabouts in Australia are you from?
Everyone hates me when I say that I'm from the disconnected part of Australia, Tasmania.
You're a Tassie boy.
Bottom. I'm by myself down here with all my family, all 250,000 of us.
So you're from Tasmania.
But yeah, Tasmania.
Cool.
Yeah.
What's your favourite type of sausage, and why don't Cole and Dumpy do a segment that runs through the OCE results like they do with EU and NA? From @TrashBendicoot.
It's a hell of a question.
I know, there's so many layers to that.
Well, I'll answer the second part. These two don't care.
Yeah, that's fair.
Racist, famously.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's sort of our thing.
They're all racist, yeah. And what is it? What's my favourite sausage?
Type of sausage.
Pork or
Not
beef?
the best you've
I
ever
don't
had.
know.
Beef? And they could, you could, Christ, CJ, you could have like a load of things in a sausage. You could have like apple, you could have like cheese, you could have
No,
leek.
listen, you guys don't have the Bunnings warehouse, the hardware store Bunnings snag, which is iconic in
What
Australia.
What are
words
you
have
telling
you
us?
just said?
You're talking about like home base, B&Q type thing.
Bunnings
Yeah, like
hardware.
it's like what's like your hardware store,
Sausage.
and
Yeah.
out the front they have like sausage chisels for like local, you know, sporting teams who may try and make money.
Like hot dogs.
And we just call them Bunnings snags because they're just sausages from there. And just a plain old sausage, bit of onion on it, bit of tomato sauce.
You ever had bratwurst?
Unbelievable.
When you went to Germany?
No.
Oh, you missed out, man. They're like 10 foot long and they're like infused with chili or cheese. Brilliant.
We had that pizza in that restaurant that stank of cigarettes, do you remember?
What about the Pizza Mac?
Oh, the Pizza Mac. Oh, that is iconic, the Pizza Mac. Carl, I told you all
Tell
about the
the
Pizza Mac,
people.
didn't I?
It rings a bell, but remind me.
It's basically, this is a me and Shady discovery. We took a punt on like a €1.20 burger from McDonald's. It was like normal bun, normal burger. Inside it had like pizza marinara sauce with bits of pepperoni. And then on top it then had like an Italian herbs and cheese bun.
Just on the top.
Yeah, it was amazing. It was like the best thing we discovered. I was off my tits for them. I had a great time. I've also Googled sausage sizzle. There's a wiki page for it. The sausage sizzle is a community event that originated in Australia. The term came into common use in the 1980s and is used to describe both the typical barbecuing technique and the nature of the event itself. The primary element of a sausage sizzle is the preparation and sale of barbecued sausages, typically with some form of bread and often accompanied by sauces or other barbecued items such as sliced onion. Now all that is just making a hot dog.
Hot dog, innit?
That's a hot dog, that.
Pretty much.
So your favourite sausage is a hot dog?
But no, they're like Savoy's, you know, like with the red skin.
Oh, yeah.
Is that a hot dog?
Nah, that's a Savoy, fair play.
Yeah, so that's what I think a hot dog is. But sausage is like a, you know, sausage without the skin stuff.
Yeah, I get you. All right, the next one from @Ajostrophe. Thoughts on Stumpy and Cole's fantastic Aussie accent?
Actually, before you answer this one, CJ, could you type out a sentence in our little Discord chat, and Stumpy and I will take turns reading it out in our best Aussie accent, and then you can review us both.
All right.
So type out something that's really Australian, and we'll give it a play.
Okay, Cole, do you want to go first?
Yeah, best first, as the old saying goes.
Yeah, best first, yeah.
G'day, Kilber. You're gonna pop down to the servo to grab me a pack of PJ Ciggies.
Jesus, that was a bit...
Jeez.
Christ,
That was
man.
aggressive.
Oh my God.
It's just, you're like,
Okay, my God,
just
man.
like, you
Fucking
wanna
bogan
punch me
over
or
it.
something.
Yeah. That's like a threat to your mum.
That was threatening. Honestly, that was.
Christ.
If you said that, you get punched in Australia. G'day, come back.
G'day, Kilber. Have you ever heard an American say the C word? They really emphasise the T. They
That's
go,
horrible.
Cunt.
Cunt.
Oh,
And
no,
it makes
no.
it so aggressive.
not
So I must
good.
have just done the Aussie equivalent of that. I apologise. It wasn't meant to be an insult.
Yeah.
Cole's is locked in.
Shit.
Yeah.
All right. G'day there, Colby. You're going to pop down to the servo to grab me a pack of PJ Ciggies.
That's actually
Ratings out of 10
really
for us
good.
both, please.
No, that's not bad. That is
all right?
It's a bit. I don't know. It's not. It's a bit. I guess it is a bit bogany.
Bit
and
bogan. G'day there, Colby. You're going to pop down.
It's not like too
Servo.
bloody, out there bogany, mate. But it's, it's mate, how's it going, bloody?
Ogity bogity, Bunnings
Bogany,
hardware,
yeah.
sausage sizzle there, lad. You're going to give me a pack of sausages, my lad.
No, that's good. That's
Thanks,
good.
man.
You
Do you-
definitely win. Cole sounded like you wanted to punch me.
I'm still threatened.
Really sound like
You will get my ciggies, or you will die.
It's phrased as a question, but that is a statement. You are going to pop down to the servo, just a heads up, and you shall be getting me a pack of PJ Ciggies.
Only PJs. If you come back with some fucking Marlboros, I will slit your neck.
I will kill your dog.
Wow, hey.
Okay, GG.
Oh, I'm crying.
Right.
Okay. Thank you for that.
Go on, Cole.
Unbelievable.
How does it feel to carry the whole OCE scene personality-wise from @Nish Shahar?
I don't think I carry the scene. I probably am the most, well-known, I guess, OCE person. But, I don't know, I just try and have fun. Like, in every RLCS, with the walkouts and stuff, like, no, you can do nothing or you can, take the opportunity to have some fun. And, like, I'm pretty much like, how often are you going to be playing in front of 3,000 people, 3,000 plus, and you got 200,000 people watching online? Like, let's just have some fun. And I try and, take every opportunity that people ask of me. If, want to go on the desk, sure. You want an interview, sure. And I guess that sort of led to me being more well-known because I'm trying to put myself out there as much as possible. So, I don't know. I don't really feel anything carrying it. I just try and, if someone says, you want to come do this, you want to come cast, you want to come do whatever, I'll just be like, sure, that'll be fun.
Talking about carrying, what happened to the little red car that carried you on stage at RLCS LAN from Jens8888?
Oh, who asked that? He wasn't following close enough.
It was a whole thing, wasn't it?
Yeah, so I pretty much went out on the walkout and then auctioned it off and donated the proceeds to my Cancer Council of Tasmania. Just a charity like close to my family. So I was just used it as an opportunity because I obviously couldn't take it back to Australia.
Yeah.
So I was like, I got everyone to sign it at the who was competing now, all the players and casters and even some Sonics people.
Oh.
And then gave it to, auctioned it off for, well, I didn't auction it off, should I say. It was a raffle for, charity.
Do you know who won it?
Yeah, I follow her on Twitter. I can't remember her name, but she's got a picture of it. I could probably find.
I remember you posting all this to Twitter at the time, and there was like a picture of you like handing it over to her, or like sort of a picture of you with her, like with the car there.
Yep.
It's a very good idea. What a lovely, lovely idea.
Okay, how much flying money emoji to use Scarab for an entire series in League play? LOL! From @Hoxer_.
Oh, everything's got a price. Probably not too much. Maybe like $1,000. I'd probably do it.
Australian dollars? Because I think I can check in my
Yeah.
wallet and see what I've got in the change
Australia.
section.
Yeah, look, our economy's not too good, but yeah, $1,000 Australian.
Mate, you're
dollars
speaking to
would be
the country that is currently killing itself via a Brexit.
good.
So
That is true.
we're not doing well economy-wise between us.
And we're voting for those guys, which is fun.
Yeah, that'll be good.
Good old
Um,
us.
So yeah, $1,000. I'll do it. 100%.
$1,000. Cool. In Australian dollars.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
$700 US.
Sick.
Okay.
Dear CJ, could you beat a kangaroo in a fight? How about a Tasmanian
no way.
devil at Mute Vickers? Now, I'm going to specify a red kangaroo, so the big boy.
Oh,
I read
no
the
way.
muscly ones where you like
Yeah,
see six
yeah,
packs
they're
and then
fucking
ripped as
jacked.
fuck. Okay.
Have you seen that video of the guy that like punches him and his dog's there as well?
Oh yeah, and the
dog, yeah,
kangaroo
I
just looks him like,
boxes it.
what the fuck did you just do, mate?
He walks off.
Who the fuck
Go
are
get
you?
me a
way,
pack
if
of
you can't-
PJCs, can.
Give me the fucking
That's what the kangaroo says.
So you couldn't beat a red kangaroo?
No way. If that kangaroo wanted to hurt that guy, he was dead. Like,
100%.
Do you reckon he respected him? The kangaroo was like, do you know what? Fair play. You're sticking up for
Yeah,
your
he
dog.
was
I'm
like,
not going to hit you
"Alright
because I
then."
respect you.
mm-hmm. I think it was like more, well, I guess you want the dog more than I want the dog. So
It's because he was like, he was trying to like get the dog in a headlock and hold it underwater. Like, that kangaroo was a prick.
Yeah, he was.
Do you think he could beat a Tasmanian devil?
No, that'd just give me rabies. They've got,
the
they've got
long
like
con.
facial tumor disease and
They do.
they've got all these
That's no fun.
things wrong with them. So I think I could beat it, but yeah.
It wouldn't be a good victory.
No,
You wouldn't feel good
No.
about it.
no.
Do you think, I just want to add on to that, do you think
go
you
on,
could
please.
do you think you could kick a wallaby's head off?
What's a wallaby?
Oh. Yeah, definitely.
It's like a mini. It's like a dwarf kangaroo.
Yeah.
I've pretty much seen it from
You've pretty much seen somebody kick a wallaby's head off.
from hunting and stuff, you know.
Was it down the servo?
It was already like dead. Well, not dead. He
Somebody
was
just fucking kicked it.
Which one of
he
you
was
guys?
in a very he wasn't alive, but he needed, you know, it was pretty much
Put it out of his misery.
What do you call it? Yeah, he was euthanized.
I mean, I still maintain that one of the most satisfying things to do would be to kick a swan in the neck. Because I think its head
I
would
think
just
it'd be
take
flexible.
I think you could kick it and the head would then catch up. And it'd then like fling the other way. I think that would look incredible in slow motion. At the slow-mo guys, I want to see somebody kick a swan in the neck.
Just really quickly
Flamingo
before we
or
move on to
something.
the next Twitter question. Could one of you ruin wallabies for me, please? Because I'm looking at them. They look cute. They look lovely. What's their problem? Do they eat human tears or something? There's got to be something wrong with
No,
them.
they're
sweet.
just everywhere.
They're
They're
sweet.
actually good,
though.
are they?
They're a pest. Yeah,
But so are kangaroos, right? Like I remember when I was in Australia, we just
Yeah.
drove like down the side of the road, and there were just kangaroos in people's gardens, like kicking fences
Oh,
down.
100%. Yeah, there's like at like universities and stuff, like rural places, they are just like they'll stand in front of your car and you can't get into your car. They'll just roam around the car park and just
Dickheads.
not let people get anywhere.
They're so
Yeah,
it's such
they're
a
pricks.
weird animal, a kangaroo.
Yeah,
With their
Like,
sticky pouches.
everything how they're built is weird.
It's just like
100%.
it's just a bloke with a massive tail, just being a prick.
Massive balls as well.
Yeah.
Right. Next up. But for real, could RNG through their group? Question mark from @Quatapine. So could Renegades make it through?
Definitely. Yep. I think, as I said, if they play well, they can get top 4.
Top 4.
Yep.
Yeah.
Beautiful. I'd love that.
So
That'd be
I
great.
think, but they've got a long. I think they're flying or leaving very soon for the boot camp in the next day or 2.
Ooh, they're going
So
there
they'll
early.
have 3
Dude,
weeks.
so close.
Yeah, they'll have like 3 weeks over there, so they should be ready. So all the pressure's on them, I guess, with Canberra being their first world. So hopefully they can do the region proud.
Just to quickly sort of go off the land vibe, do you have any like intention of coming to Madrid, or like would you want to if there was like sort of the offer to do it?
Yeah, I think if I got asked to cast, I'd do it. As I said, like if I'm a bit of a, you know, I won't say no. I won't turn down an offer because everything's a good experience, you know. So that'd be fun.
What if it was like a Yumi Johnny Boy situation
Yeah.
where it was like the sort of a crowdfunded thing to get you there?
Nah, I don't think so.
Fair
if
enough.
I wasn't casting, I think more people would get a thing out of me being like doing the viewing party, you know, like more people would get enjoyment out of that than the few people that are there that don't speak Spanish.
But
I
that
can
includes
interact
us. Friend,
Fair.
pal,
That's
buddy.
true.
Bestie.
It's like how here's a question: how many regular people does one Stumpy interaction account for? So how
I
many
would
viewers
say-
on Twitch?
Oh wow.
I'd say 70. I think Stumpy is worth 70 Twitch viewers
Wow.
for
That's
CJ,
all
but it's
right.
scaled up for him. For us, it would be like 3 because we get about 6 viewers, and you're half of that. But
Yeah, that's
CJ
true.
gets
I
100,
think that's
so
really
they mean
low.
less to him.
I think
Do you think I'm more?
I think I think like you guys are both 200 viewers each, so I need more than 400 viewers to.
I think that will happen. Yeah, GG, stay in Australia.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, fair play.
Yeah.
Can you recite the negative B formula, please? Big fan from Dmox, and he replied to that saying, "Psst, if you get stuck, it's a quadratic formula." So could you just recite the negative B formula, please, CJ? Because I know you know it.
He said like the negative B plus minus the square root of 4. No, something. Is it B minus 4 AC or something over 2A?
Yeah, probably.
Right? Something like that.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, let Twitter answer. Twitter was CJ right. Let us know in the response to this podcast when you get to this point. Okay, final question then. Like I'm champion 3. Should I move to OCE to get my ticket to the RLCS finals the easy way? From @Jens8888.
Well, if you ask Stumpy, he'll say yes because we've got
8 GCs and a Nan.
And a Nan.
Yeah.
So as long as you're better than a Nan, you're at least 3rd in the region. So
Nan's pretty OP.
I'd say yeah.
She's pretty good. She's a strong diamond too.
And she doesn't do anything else with her life, so she can really she can grind some ranked.
Yeah. Ever since Granddad died, she just grinds it. What? What do you mean? Like
he saw her score her first flip reset. He had a heart attack. It was a tragic story, and now she refuses to flip reset.
CJ, thank you, mate, for joining us on the Poddy C.
Thank you very much for having me. This was absolutely eye-opening experience into you two, being Australians.
Thanks,
If I was born in Australia, I would be in prison, apparently.
You'd be in the gutter like dead.
not even. You won't even give Cole prison. He'll be in the fucking gutter.
You won't make it.
CJ will kick your head off like a wallaby.
I deserve that.
Will.
Yeah, that's fair. CJ, I hope you have a fantastic viewing party. And if you do decide to come to Madrid, there will be lots and lots of non-alcoholic waters on the table for you, mate.
Wait, what?
Yeah. Well, we can't promote drinking, can we? Do you know what I mean?
Drinking is wrong.
Sorry,
Drugs, though, brilliant. Love a bit of heroin.
Yeah. Take after your dad, don't you, mate?
I do.
So, yeah, thanks, CJ. I hope you have enjoyed it, and I hope that you have a fantastic next season. Hopefully we can see you at the next LAN, wherever the fuck that is, somewhere in America. That'd be good. Sydney. Oh, mate,
yes!
honestly, I'm all about Australia. I want to go there again. It's like one of my favourite countries. I love it. It's fantastic.
Maybe the Poddy C podcast can make a petition.
Poddy C down under.
Oh, get hashtag Australian? What would it be?
Australian.
Yeah.
Australian.
There is a way, Stumpy, that people can get us to Australia to record some live podcasts, and that's by supporting us on Patreon. Patreon.com/subpubinhd. So thank you to everyone that's already contributed to that. Recently, the last couple of weeks, I believe we've got our first 2 podcast-only patrons. So you guys know who you are. Thank you so much to everyone, and those 2 especially.
Yeah, cheers, team. Otherwise, guys, we've done a load of podcasts with other RLCS pros, so go back, listen to them. Next week, our podcast will be focusing on the post-playoff situation. So we will know who is going to be going. So the promo relegation, sorry. Mm-hmm. So we will know who is going to be in RLCS next season. Will Cloud9 and G2 go down? Will Complexity stay up? I fucking hope not. Let's see what happens. Otherwise, guys, I'll see you later. Have a good rest of your day.
Bye. Peace.